Look, you have definitely seen these bold statements floating around your social feeds, right? Claims of making hundreds of thousands of dollars, or like this one right here, literally $600,000 in a single month using AI dropshipping. It sounds like a total cheat code to life. But today, we're cutting through all that. We're looking at the gritty reality of what happens when you strip away the hype, the rented Lamborghinis, and those flashy headlines to figure out what is really going on beneath the surface.
So the big question is this actually too good to be true? We really want to see if a complete beginner can rely entirely on artificial intelligence to build a complete, profitable store from scratch. I mean, can AI really find the products, build the website, and manage the logistics? Or is this whole trend just a cleverly marketed illusion designed to sell you an expensive online course? Well, we are putting it to the test.
Now, to make this a true, undeniable test, the creators set a strict, almost impossible budget of just $1 single to set everything up. Yeah, you heard me right, $1. This crazy restriction guarantees that we aren't just, throwing money at expensive agencies or premium software to brute force a result. If AI is really as powerful as the gurus claim, $1 should be enough to get the entire foundation off the ground. Okay, so the rules for this experiment are totally unforgiving. First, keep the total setup cost under a single dollar, as we just mentioned. Second, no fancy multi-monitor setups or crazy expensive gear. Everything has to be done strictly on a standard laptop using free, or at least almost free, tools. And finally, the most stressful part, there's a time limit. The whole storefront has to be completely finished from idea to execution before a 1-hour timer runs out.
Let's map out exactly how this comes together. The workflow really relies on rapidly stringing together 3 specific platforms before that hour is up. First, generating the store framework using a tool called Build Your Store AI. Then, seamlessly locking in a free trial on Shopify to actually host the site. And finally, integrating AutoDS for the back-end product sourcing. You basically have to connect these 3 pieces flawlessly, all while hoping the AI doesn't go full Terminator on us and take over completely. And honestly, this setup brilliantly illustrates the core concept of dropshipping. Your store acts purely as a digital middleman. That means 0 boxes stacked up in your living room, no endless trips to the post office, and no manual shipping. When a customer buys from you, the AI system automatically routes that order to a supplier who ships it directly to their doorstep. So you don't need a warehouse or huge upfront capital to start selling. So before generating the products, the AI asked for a niche. The chosen market here was sports and fitness. This is super smart because it capitalizes on a massive, modern cultural shift where Gen Z is actually meeting up at running clubs instead of nightclubs. It's a market with a highly active, really engaged younger demographic. Honestly, this is an absolute gold mine for an AI-curated store because this audience is heavily driven by social media aesthetics and targeted impulse buys. Now, to actually get products into the store, 99 cents were spent activating a 30-day starter plan on AutoDS. This software is basically the workhorse of the entire operation. It lets the AI handle all the product sourcing, photography, and fulfillment. It's a massive shortcut that saves literal hours of manual labor. But out of our strict $1 budget, this single necessary expense left exactly 1 penny remaining to our name. Notice the AI-curated inventory that was automatically selected for the store. The system didn't just pick random, cheap junk. It pulled practical, trend-friendly items with a proven track record of selling. We're talking a high-altitude breathing trainer for cardio enthusiasts, protective golf club bag clips, classic resistance bands, and a warm jogging hat for the changing seasons. The AI basically acted as our own professional retail buyer. For the branding side of things, the store was named Tilbury Fitness, with the creator jokingly claiming he has the body of a Greek god. But pay close attention to the domain extension here. Instead of a standard .com, they used a .store domain, which was available for free through the AI builder. This is incredibly strategic. Studies actually show .store domains can get 87% more traffic and rank 2 times higher on Google, just because customers instantly recognize it as a retail site.
All right. Let's look at the financial math for a single item to understand the philosophy of the profit model. The AI automatically calculated that the golf club bag clips cost exactly $6.84 to source directly from the supplier. That is your baseline cost right there. But to make any real money, you need to understand how dropshippers utilize markups. Since dropshippers typically mark up their items by 2 to 2.5 times the original cost, selling those same clips for over $13 leaves a very healthy profit margin per sale. And the best part? Actually, scratch that. The absolute best part is that the AI automatically writes the product descriptions, adds emojis, and even sets up related product suggestions to help upsell the customer. It's literally doing hours of manual data entry and copywriting in a matter of seconds. So, with the store fully built right before the 1-hour timer expired, it was time for the hardest part, getting actual human eyeballs on it. To drive traffic to the new storefront, the strategy aggressively pivoted away from expensive macro-influencers, those massive accounts with 500,000 followers or more, and moved toward much more affordable, focused micro-influencers. The absolutely crucial point here is that these smaller accounts actually drive significantly better performance metrics for e-commerce brands without completely bankrupting your marketing budget. According to Social Bakers, micro-influencers boast up to a 60% increased engagement rate. Even more importantly, they deliver a 20% higher conversion rate. Their audiences trust them deeply, and trust is the ultimate currency when you are trying to sell a product online.
Now, to put this into practice, the strategy did require stepping outside that strict $1 store-building budget to fund the actual marketing. Because let's be real, you can't reach people for free. The creator reached out to a comedy fitness duo called the Grays Brothers. For an out-of-pocket investment of $50, a wacky, high-energy Instagram story was commissioned to promote the breathing trainer directly to their targeted, loyal audience of 145,000 followers.
Okay, let's move to the results phase and see how this builds over a tense 24-hour waiting period after the promotional link went live on their Instagram story. Consider the odds here for a second. Would a $50 marketing investment on a completely automated, AI-generated store actually convince real people to part with their hard-earned cash?
The answer is yes. No way, right? But the micro-influencer promotion actually worked. After filtering out 2 initial test orders, the store drove 10 genuine, verified purchases of the high-altitude breathing trainer from real customers. The wacky, natural feeling of the Instagram story perfectly matched the audience, pulling them right into the AI-generated funnel. Real humans bought products from a store entirely built by a robot in under an hour.
Here is the completely transparent financial breakdown of the entire 7-day experiment. Let's walk through this line by line so you can see exactly where every single dollar came from and where it went. First up, we have a gross revenue of $170.85. From that, we deduct our $50 marketing out-of-pocket cost, the $39.50 that went to AutoDS for the actual goods and shipping, and a $1 fee for Shopify after the trial ended.
So when you subtract the $90.50 in total costs from the gross revenue, we are left with the real verified net profit of $80.35. Now, this isn't just about a small $80 payout, it's really about the proof of concept. The AI successfully sourced, presented, and fulfilled a product that turned a real-world profit with minimal human intervention. That is a total game changer.
It might not be $1 million overnight for sure, but minimal effort and a tiny budget proved that the concept definitely works. If an automated store can generate $80 in pure profit from a single product with just a $50 ad, it leaves us to wonder, just how scalable is this AI model? If you replicated this exact strategy across, say, 20 trending products, could it eventually replace your 9-to-5? It's definitely something to think about.